Welcome to a special edition Heat Check powered by WeBuyOldJeans.com. These are the highest selling vintage sweaters and sweatshirts over the last 30 days. Alright, starting us off at number 10, we have this double-faced 1960s light blue 70s, 60s sweatshirt. It says it has an after hood. Let's take a look. Yeah, you can see that it looks like it's stitched on afterwards. Leo Minster, I guess that's the brand here. There's a lot of brands again in like sweatshirts and stuff because a lot of sort of undergarment companies would have made them or would have produced them. But this one looks super cool. Looks pretty clean. Let's see. They showed right here. They showed a little bit, like a couple nicks, maybe some discoloration. But generally speaking, for a hoodie that's probably from the 60s, this is a pretty good deal. It is a size 38 here across, so still pretty small. But should have plenty of life left. It looks like missing the drawstring. That's not uncommon at all. Only a little ragged around the wrist. See those like sort of extended wrists? That's a good sign that that you're looking at an older garment here. And then Leo Mister is on the back. Sorry, it's spelled on the back. Looks like it's in good condition too. Let's see. There's a close up. Yeah, it looks like it's a little bit of cracking, but really dope hoodie here. One of the cooler ones you'll see. Love the color for sure. This one sold for $520. Then the first appearance of a Champion, and it certainly will not be the last. We have this vintage Champion reverse weave hoodie sweatshirt. This is the United States Air Force Academy. These military Champion pieces always do really well. Also missing the drawstring. The reverse weave, gotta love it. Feels super great. Looks like we also have another after hood here. But absolutely beautiful. Looks like it's in great condition. No major flaws even, looks like. Probably came out of somebody's family's collection. This one is not as old though. This is I think at least by the 80s, maybe the late 70s, but 80s or 90s here. And incredibly still went for $549.04. Super cool. Then we have a vintage 50s Hanes windshield thermal lined. So it's got some thermal lining in it. Let's take a look. We've got the full zip. So this one actually zips up and zips open, which is nice and convenient. The red looks like it really pops, like low wear. Looks like it's really pretty clean. A little tear there, but nothing that's too bad. Size large, which is a great size. This is going to appeal to a lot of people. 42 by 44 windshield. Yeah, let's see what zipper it has on it. I can't remember which zipper that is, but anyway, it looks like it's in great condition. The photo here is a little bit burned out, but a little overexposed. Either way, fantastic, super cool hoodie here. This one sold for $600. Then we have the first crew neck on the list. We have the vintage Birdhouse Jeremy Klein Milk Boy crew neck. Obviously, 90s vintage skate brand stuff always does really well. Here on the Toltex, heavyweight cotton, extra large, great size. The graphic looks clean. The whole thing looks like really clean. Very little wear. This one did really well as well. It sold for $600. Next up, we have a 1970s or so spruce long sleeve Beethoven Bellew print sweatshirt here. This one I actually have seen a few times, and I'm actually really surprised at the price. Of course, crew necks and sweatshirts and hoodies from this era are going to go for a lot of money, but this one kind of shocked me, to be honest. Either way, really cool. It just gives us the two photos, the front and the tag. Looks like it's in fantastic condition. This one sold for $601.99 at auction with just 2 bids. Then next up, Ralph makes an appearance. We have the Polo Ralph Lauren Stadium 1992 sweater. If you're familiar, the Stadium line, it did really well. It's really popular. It's some of the most popular and rare and coveted pieces that Ralph Lauren ever made. Here we have the Stadium 1992. Dual color block deal. Looks like it's in good condition. Can't tell if there's a little bit of wear or some sort of discoloration on the blue side. Looks like the contrast is a little bit too high. But size, medium, not too bad. Not too bad at all. This one was great. This one sold after 22 bids for $659.99. Do you have vintage denim that you are looking to sell? Maybe you need it appraised, or maybe you just need a little bit more information about the garment you have. Well, we recommend WeBuyOldJeans.com. These guys are the best in the business, in my opinion. They offer the best prices and have the most knowledgeable information and experts at their fingertips, and they offer unmatched service in the industry. So whether you're looking for a free appraisal, maybe you're looking just to offload some denim, or maybe just a little bit of information, WeBuyOldJeans.com is the place for you. Speaking of vintage Polo Ralph Lauren, we have the Polo Ralph Lauren Indian Head Knit Sweater. This is the first knit sweater I think we have on the list. Of course, this one is the only photo, which is not super great, and definitely a little bit sus. I'd always be a little bit concerned. But they obviously had relisted previously due to a non-buyer, which is a non-paying buyer, which is not surprising. But apparently, now that is no longer an issue. They don't give us the measurements, which is kind of a bummer. But it is size large, and I've seen the full version of this, and it's a great sweater. This one sold for $699.99. Then back to the 60s with the Champion Harvard. This one is sick. It looks like it's like really fuzzy. It's not a reverse weave or anything. Let's take a look at overall. There's that tag. Let's see. It looks great. They didn't show the back. They didn't show us the back. No. Always show the back. It's always nice to see the back, just in case. Anyway, we have the Harvard Vintage Champion 1960s. This is great. Whenever you get one of these like old school teams or old school colleges, they're going to sell really well. You'll find out about that in a minute. The Harvard appears, I assume that's original and it wasn't like stitched on afterwards on a blank or something. I guess that would have been possible if you tried, but the lettering looks like it's correct from the era. Anyways, this one sold for $700. Then the one and only cardigan on this list, we have the 1944 Notre Dame Champion Cardigan Sweater, Clem Crow Letterman Navy. Let's take a look at this thing. There's the Notre Dame. This is definitely looking like the era. Let's see, they probably have it. I wonder if they've named it. Oh, here we go. So, American gridiron football and basketball player, served as a coach. Anyway, this looks like they must have got it from a very specific person. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, this is probably the reference, to be honest. This is probably the reference piece. Let's take a look down here. Extremely rare, owned by head coach Clem Crow. Nice. So they did a little sleuthing and are assuming that it's made on a champion, which I think I would agree with. It looks like all the elements. There's his name right there, Clem Crow. So this is like a somewhat celebrity-owned piece. I'm actually kind of surprised it didn't go for more, to be honest. But this one sold for $825. Super interesting, fascinating piece right here. Then at number one, by a long shot, we have the 1950s Champion Nebraska State Sweater Hoodie. We got Nebraska State right there on the back. The front is empty. We do have a pocket, couple stains, but the back hit is where it's at, 67 there. Incredible piece here. Definitely has a few issues, but when it's this old, you kind of expect that. And just adds to the lore. Ink stain maybe right there. Let's see. We got a good size right here. Size roughly around 40, 44, 42, 44, something like that. So that's a good size as well. You're going to be shocked because this is not always the number that I'm actually going to say. But in this case, it is. This Vintage Champion hoodie went for $4,000. According to all my research, this did get paid for. This is obviously, I wouldn't have put it on the list if I did not indicate that it was paid for. But $4,000 for this piece. You can only imagine maybe what like a bigger, more popular college would have brought. But anyway, incredible piece at the #1 spot on this very rare heat check sweatshirt edition.